2, 1, can please stop?
Hey, what are you wearing for Valentine's Day? This is actually from Christmas. We should make new shirts. Let's do it!
Karen makes stuff. Karen makes stuff. Oh, can't get enough. Karen makes stuff.
Hi, I'm Karen and I make stuff. If you like to make stuff, we can make stuff together. Right now, I want to make a shirt with this pattern with little dots on it. It's going to be so cute. I like to use this shirt because it's pink and it has a little stain on it, so this project will cover up the stain. Next, you're going to need paint. I'm going to use acrylic paint. I'm going to do like a darker pink and a red, but whatever colors you want to use. This is your shirt. If you want to do red on a white shirt, or maybe purple is your Valentine color, or maybe black is your Valentine color. Whatever colors you want. If you have fabric medium, you can go ahead and add it. It's not crucial. These are acrylic paints. We're only using a little bit of paint on this design. If it was like all over design or like big flowers on some jeans, you would want to add some fabric medium. It just makes the paint softer so you don't have that, you know, like have you ever had like a shirt with like the whole thing, it's like it feels like an iron-on and it's just like a bib. It's like one big piece of plastic. That's what the fabric medium helps for. I'm not going to use it on this project because the dots are pretty small. We're not actually using a lot of paint on it. So I'm going to skip that step for today. You're going to need a brush. I'm going to use, for these dots, I'm going to use some Q-tips. You could use like the head of a pencil, like a pencil eraser. You could use, like if you have like a little stamp or like a sponge, you could use fingers. If you had if you have like little kids, or like for like your daycare class or your kindergarten class, or your college class, I don't know what you're studying, that would be really cute. Imagine if you did this as a card and use like the kids like little fingers for like the card for their parents. That would be super, super cute. Or for your troop, that would be a super cute idea. If you're doing it on a shirt, you're going to need something to put underneath it. If you're going to use this to make like a journal or like a wall hanging, if you're doing it on paper, you're not going to need that, but we're going to put this on fabric. So I got a little cardboard box here, a little flat cardboard box, and I just put some wax paper over it. I just taped some wax paper on it. So that's my shirt board. They used to sell t-shirt boards. Do they still make those? It was like a piece of cardboard in the shape of a t-shirt, and it was like not laminated on one side, but it was definitely plasticky. It was like a big thing back in the 80s, like the early 90s, like painting shirts. It was the craft. The puffy paint shirts. If you ask your mom, she'll remember. If you remember puffy paint shirts, you need to schedule your shingle shot. Okay, so I've got my shirt, and to make this design, I love using shelf paper. Any design, it doesn't matter because we're just going to be painting over it. And the one I did here, this one's really big. This is a 12-inch square, like 30 centimeters. And I would need the heart smaller because like it's so big that I ran out of room on this, from the borders of this. I'm going to make mine smaller. I want to do like a 5-inch heart instead. How big is this one? This one's like 10 inches across. I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to do a 5-inch heart. I'm going to do it right in the middle of my shirt, like right here. But your heart can be any size. This is not a craft. This is art. You are making this. It is yours. Okay? I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to help you along. But when you're done with it, it's going to be a totally new creation that never existed before until you made it. I'm just going to do one little heart. You could do more. You could do like a couple. You could do like put them in a row. You can put them all like higgledy-piggledy all over your shirt. You can make them real small, or maybe make one giant one. You could put like your kids' names or your pets' names. whatever you want to put in there. Or leave it blank like I did. So I'm going to make mine 5 inches. I've got a little sheet of paper that's 5 inches also, a little 5-inch square, like what, 13 centimeters. You don't have to start exactly on the corner. I always thought you did. I don't know, it caused so much stress for me. Like at elementary school. Make your heart. For this one, I kind of like the heart V to go a little deep because you want it kind of pronounced. So that's where I have, it's kind of okay. I'm going to go back a little bit. Oh, what do I not like on this one? I'm going to round this out a little bit. If you mess up, just get a new piece. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Oh, I like that better. I can already tell. Do you think that's deep enough? Maybe a little more because we really want there. I feel like this is weird. Okay, hold on. Keep whittling it down. Hold on. Okay, now it's not rounded there. I'm not doing a very good job of this. Okay, hold on. You could also like print one out. Just do a search for hearts, or you could use like the heart emoji. How's that? I don't like it. I had another one. Oh, let me find my other one. Oh, there it is. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay, I like this one. That's a good heart. Like that. I'm going to trace it with a Sharpie. The paper on the back is like kind of waxy. It's like a slick paper, like the, I mean, well, it's the back of a sticker. So trace that. All right, there's my heart. Cut it out. Try to cut it out as smoothly as possible. I don't want to fold this because I'm going to have like a weird bump in the middle of it if I do. And we want the stencil to be very, very flat on the fabric so that the paint doesn't seep through. So that's why we made a template first and then cut it out instead of just folding this paper in half. Our fancy brush we're going to use, this Q-tip, this cotton swab. We want to prime them first because if we just start pounce painting with a Q-tip, it's going to have all those little fibers coming off it and it's not going to be like a nice perfect circle. So we just want to get some paint on it first. It's going to be a little messy. And then you still get that little weird piece on top of it. But just kind of seal it and then make it flat. I like to pounce it on some scratch paper. Get that little part that keeps coming up. Just pounce it down. Okay. So there you go. And we're just going to let this sit. Stand up. You don't want to lay it flat. Make sure it's like standing up on something. I don't have any paper towels. I should have planned this a little better. Be right back. Okay, so we've got our shirt all ready to go. Practice on paper first. Use your Q-tip, use your finger, whatever you're going to use as your brush. Practice it a couple times, like I did, like on this one, because then I got the hang of it. I saw, you know, what parts were tricky, what I didn't like, what I did like, and if I made any big mistakes, it's okay because I had to practice, okay? So grab your paper and practice a couple times. So now we have the heart that we love. And just be careful, you don't want it to stick back on itself, but it's not super sticky, it's just a little tacky. I'm going to put mine right here in the middle. I'm going to use that paper from the back of my heart to put my paint on it, put it off to the side. If you are going to use the fabric medium, this would be your time to Mix the fabric medium in. Give it a good shake. All right. There's no rules. This is yours. Have fun with it. Personally, I don't want to go like perfect, you know, every inch I'm going to do a red and then every other inch it's going to be a pink. Some of my circles will be half on, half off. Some of them will be just a little teeny bit. I'm going to make my border a little, like how this one is. Make my border a little thicker. If you want to have maybe like one side of the heart blowing away, you can kind of blow the side out and have them kind of off the shirt like that. It's up to you, however you want to do it. And here's one more thing you can do with your Q-tips if you want. You can cut the back off. Don't use the good scissors. Those are for fabric. Okay. So now I cut this. I also have a little dot if I wanted to do a little dot as well. Oh, it's really cute. Oh, I might use this too. Go for it. Get some paint. Here's the first one. Oh, I love it. Okay. If you don't have enough on there, it's okay. You can go put a little more. You can redo the dot. You'll find out really quickly how fast you need to reload your brush. Some you might have to do every single dab. Others, you know, depending on the look that you're going for. This is why it's important to practice on the paper. Now, I'm doing these half on, half off. I think I'm going to do this one like all the way off. And then maybe this one just barely there. Why am I reaching over? Let me put my paper on this side. Don't go over the shirt. Okay. Now this is the part where you just kind of zen out. This is your bliss. This is the fun part. This is supposed to be fun. Mandatory fun. I do like having it like half on, half off your little shelf paper sticker. It'll help define the border of your heart. And then just relax. Have fun with it. If you make a mistake, just put a little more paint on it. No one knows what it's supposed to look like but you. And I think you're doing a really good job so far. When you're ready to switch paints, wait for your first color to dry. This is one where you really want those defined dots. And if you go over it too quickly before it dries, it's going to get a little muddy. Unless that's the look you're going for. Now that I have the edge of the heart the way I want it, I'm going to start working out a little more. And for this one, I'm going to make them pretty close together when they're next to the heart. And as we get further out, they'll be spaced out a little more. How much do you do? It's up to you. When you start putting on your second or maybe third colors, you can decide if you want them to overlap or not. Maybe test that on the paper first before you commit to it. Either way, make sure your first coat has dried before you put a second one on. Ah! I just messed up. Oh no! Keep a paper towel close by in case you mess up. So I messed up. Thankfully, it's small enough where I can paint over it, and you'll never know. I'm gonna blot this though. No, it's there. I'm committed to it. That was because I just wasn't looking and I had paint on my hand. Okay, so I'm gonna be very careful and oh, you never knew it was there. I meant to do that. If you're using more than one color, it might look a little sparse when you only have the first one on. Kind of resist that urge to keep filling it in with more because you do want to leave space for your second color. As I get further away from the heart, they'll be spaced out more and more. Remember on the white one that I practiced, I wasn't able to put a whole lot on because I was kind of right up to the edge. So you get to decide how far you want this to go out. You're going to put somebody's name in the middle of the heart? That would make a good gift. You can make matching shirts for you and your boo. Oh, that would be cute. Okay, here's what I'm doing wrong. When I put the dot down, my finger is getting into a dot that was already there. So be careful. Here's that stain I need to cover up. Should we get that? Like it was never there. Sometimes you can be putting them on randomly and it feels like they kind of make a line on their own. That's okay. Just put another one in there, closer, higher, lower to it, and then you're going to put on a second color so it'll break up that pattern. I'm going to take a pause and let the red dry. But don't use a blow dryer. Just wait. Remember, this is your crafting relax time. We're not going to rush this. Unless you're making this on Are you making this on February 13th? Are you making this on February 14th? Are you trying to finish this so you can hurry up and go out? Let it sit. It needs some time. Okay, it's been about 10-15 minutes now. The paint isn't shiny anymore, so we know it's dry. Let's go ahead and go in with our second color. I'm going to use the hot pink. Test that out. Ooh, it looks really good. And just go for it. Do the same thing you did with your first color. And this is probably the time you want to decide, do you want your circles to overlap or not? It's up to you. If you're not sure, try it on a piece of paper. Yeah, change it up a little bit. You know, this one's halfway off the heart. This one's just a teeny bit off the heart. Be very careful that you don't move the shirt after you start painting because you've got that wax paper behind it. If you move it, there is paint on the wax paper. You're going to shift and then you're going to have a stain on the back of your shirt from where you didn't want the paint. It might be okay, but if you're using a white shirt, a light color shirt, or a lightweight shirt, it might show through. So just be careful that you keep it where it is. If you want to, you can put binder clips on the edges of the board to make sure it stays in place. I don't know. I'm feeling like I want to put white on this too. What do you think? How many colors are you going to use? This is the part where it gets hard. You don't know, is it finished yet? Maybe one more dot. Maybe one more. Maybe one more. Just one more. Okay, this is the last one, I swear. Now let me go put a whole bunch more in. For my design, I want them really clustered around the heart, so I don't know if I have enough clustered around the heart. And it can be a little deceptive. It's going to look like it's more filled in because you've got that big shelf paper heart in the middle. But just keep going. And just be very mindful of where your board is. You don't want to stamp off of that because then that will go through different layers. Are you going to sign your shirt? You should. It's art. You can take a Sharpie and maybe down the corner or on the tag, especially if it's a gift for somebody. I want to take advantage of all the space I have this one. Since my practice one, I was kind of up against the edge. I really want to make these dots pretty dense around the border of the heart. Once it starts looking nice and full, you can decide if you want to turn that Q-tip around and do little tiny dots. I'm going to test it. I'm going to skip it for mine. But go ahead if you want to. Practice on your paper. See if you like it. If not, don't do it. Or if you do put a small dot on it and you don't like it, just put a bigger dot over it. If you're ever working on a project, you see it one way in your mind. And when you execute it, it doesn't quite look the same. Don't give up. That's the trick. You just don't give up. Keep going because you're already committed. And if you just keep going, it's going to turn out great. Trust the process. I'm liking the white. I didn't think I would, but I feel like it's working for me. Brightens the design up and it fills it in a little more. I think I like it. Okay. It's so hard. Like, when is this finished? Like, just one more dot. Now that I'm putting the last coat on of the white, I am overlapping some of these dots a little bit. It just gives it more depth. But again, practice on paper first. See if you like it. Brushes down. I'm finished. I'm really liking it now. All right, let's do the big reveal. I love it now. I love it. I love it. So we're going to let this dry and come back in a few minutes and then we'll be ready to iron. You want to see what the board looks like? Look at that. That would have been on the inside back of the shirt if we hadn't put the cardboard down. So the very last thing we need to do is iron our shirt to set the paint into the fabric. We need to get a pressing cloth, which is nothing fancy. It's just any piece of fabric that you don't mind maybe getting some paint on it or getting singed because the iron was up really hot. We're just going to cover it. And with a really hot iron, but no steam. Why no steam? Because we are trying to set the paint. And if you're using steam, that's just moisture and it's going to just kind of gum everything up. Hot, dry iron. Okay. And we just want to cover the whole area. Make sure you get the whole thing. All right. You ready for the final reveal? I mean, you already know what it looks like. But now it's going to stay there forever. How cute is this? Look what we made. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to wear this. This is so cute. I hope you had fun. And I hope you make this. Are you going to make it on a shirt? Or a journal? Maybe just like some wall art? You'd be really cute if you have a classroom. Make a big heart. I don't know what you would use. Oh, more shelf paper. Just a bigger piece of shelf paper on like a bulletin board, and then have your kids do their hands instead of dots. That would be so cute. You could put their names in the middle, or just Happy Valentine's Day, or like your name and like the nickname you have for your class. There's a million different things that you can do. If there's a supply that you don't have, if there's something you're missing, improvise. You can do this. You're so creative. I know you are. And I want you to take a picture of what you made and let me know, because I really can't wait to see what you made. And if you made it this far, hit subscribe. I've got a lot of stuff to make and I want you to come along for the ride.
Carol makes stuff. Karen makes stuff. Oh, can't get enough.
I'm using acrylic paint. I think it'll work real. Hi, kitty. We have a special guest. This is Alfie. Alfie, you gonna help? I just gave him treats so that he would let me be. But now I think he just wants more treats. He's only this nice to me when he's hungry.
Karen makes stuff.